The moment most people hear that nearly half of all small businesses fail within 5 years, the first reaction is judgment. People assume the owners were careless, lazy, or simply not smart enough, but the data does not support that story. Many of these founders are intelligent, hardworking, and deeply committed. They wake up early, work late, sacrifice weekends, and still watch their businesses slowly fall apart. So, if effort, passion, and skill are not the problem, then what is? That question is at the heart of everything we are about to discuss, and once you truly understand the answer, your entire view of business changes. To understand this, let's start with a very common, very real situation. Imagine a person named Lisa. Lisa is excellent at making handmade soap. Not average, not okay, but genuinely good. She understands ingredients, skin sensitivity, scents, and packaging. People around her constantly tell her that she should start a business. Eventually, she does. She opens a small shop, invests her savings, and turns her skill into a profession. In the beginning, everything feels right. Customers come in, compliments flow, sales happen. But slowly, things start to shift. Lisa is no longer just making soap. She is managing inventory, handling customer complaints, scheduling staff, dealing with rent, taxes, suppliers, marketing, and cash flow. 6 months later, she is exhausted. She has not taken a proper day off in weeks, and the most painful part is this. She starts to hate the very thing she once loved. This is not because Lisa is bad at business. It is because she fell into what Michael Gerber calls the Entrepreneurial Myth, explained in his book, The E-Myth Revisited. The myth is simple but destructive. It says that if you are good at doing something, you will naturally be good at running a business that does it. This sounds logical, which is why so many people believe it. But in reality, doing the work and running a business are two completely different skill sets. A great technician does not automatically become a great business owner. This confusion is where most small businesses begin to fail. Every business owner, whether they realize it or not, operates in 3 different roles at the same time. The first role is the technician. This is the person who actually does the work. The baker bakes, the designer designs, the developer codes. This is where most people feel comfortable because this is where their skill lives. The second role is the manager. This role focuses on organization, planning, scheduling, and maintaining stability. The manager wants order and predictability. The third role is the entrepreneur. This is the visionary. The person who thinks about the future, about growth, about where the business is going in 5 or 10 years. Most people start businesses as technicians. They are good at something, so they decide to work for themselves instead of someone else. But when they do that, they don't stop being technicians. They simply add the manager and entrepreneur roles on top of their existing workload. Now they are trying to do the work, manage the business, and plan the future all at the same time. This internal conflict creates stress and burnout. The technician wants to focus on quality. The manager wants control. The entrepreneur wants change. When one person tries to satisfy all 3 without systems, the result is chaos. This is why many business owners feel trapped. They started a business to gain freedom, but instead they created a job that demands more time and energy than any regular job ever did. They cannot step away because everything depends on them. If they stop working, the business stops functioning. At that point, they do not own a business, the business owns them. Michael Gerber explains that businesses grow through predictable phases. In the first phase, called infancy, the owner does everything. This phase often feels exciting because decisions are fast and control is total, but it is also extremely fragile. The business has no structure and no backup. The owner is the system. In the second phase, adolescence, the owner realizes they need help and starts hiring people. But without systems, delegation turns into micromanagement. Employees make mistakes, the owner gets frustrated, and stress increases. This is where many businesses stall or collapse. The final phase is maturity. This is where a real business exists. In a mature business, systems run the operation, not individuals. Tasks are documented. Processes are repeatable. Outcomes are predictable. The owner focuses less on doing work and more on designing how work gets done. This is where scale becomes possible. A perfect example of this is franchises. McDonald's is not successful because it has the best chefs or the most passionate workers. It is successful because it has some of the best systems in the world. Anyone can be trained to produce the same result regardless of personal talent. That consistency is what allows the business to grow globally. The lesson here is not about burgers, it is about structure. One of the most uncomfortable truths in the E-Myth Revisited is that hustle is not a business strategy. Working harder can temporarily hide inefficiencies, but it cannot fix them. If a business only survives because the owner is constantly working overtime, then the foundation is weak. Sustainable businesses are built on systems, not sacrifice. This idea goes against hustle culture, which glorifies long hours and burnout. But burnout is not proof of progress, it is proof of poor design. To move toward a business that works without destroying the owner, the first step is documentation. Every recurring activity should be written down. How orders are handled, how customer complaints are resolved, how inventory is managed. This turns knowledge into an asset. Once something is written, it can be improved, taught, and repeated. Without documentation, everything remains dependent on memory, and memory does not scale. The second step is standardization. When processes are consistent, results become predictable. Predictability reduces stress and increases quality. Many owners resist this step because they believe no one can do the job as well as they can, but this belief keeps them trapped. Systems do not remove control, they create it. Over time, the role of the owner must change. Instead of being the best worker in the business, the owner becomes the architect of the business. This shift is uncomfortable because it requires letting go of control and identity. Many people tie their self-worth to being busy. But long-term success comes from replacing personal effort with organizational intelligence. If you study businesses that last decades, a pattern becomes clear. They focus on boring things, clear processes, financial discipline, training manuals, feedback systems. None of this is glamorous, but all of it is effective. This is why boring businesses quietly create billionaires. They are not driven by hype. They are driven by repetition, reliability, and resilience. So the real question is not whether you are working hard enough. The real question is whether your business is designed to work without you. If you stepped away for 30 days, would it survive? If the answer is no, then the solution is not more hustle. The solution is better systems. Most businesses do not fail because founders are incapable. They fail because founders build businesses around themselves instead of building systems that outlast them. Once you understand this, your entire approach changes. You stop chasing motivation and start building structure. You stop glorifying exhaustion and start valuing clarity. Now think about your own situation. Which role are you stuck in right now? Are you spending most of your time doing work, managing chaos, or designing the future? And more importantly, what is the first system you can build to reduce dependency on yourself? That single step, done consistently, is what separates struggling businesses from sustainable ones.